Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Which means peace be upon you. A very good morning and salam Malaysia Madani. Terima kasih Sedaya Pengacara Majlis. Yang bahagia Dato Muhammad Faiz Azmi, Executive Chairman of Securities Commission Malaysia. Ms. Jessica Chim, Founder and CEO of Eco Business. Yang bahagia Datin Paduka Zalina Adham, Managing Director Securities Commission Malaysia. Yang bahagia Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar, Chairman WWF Malaysia and MYSDG Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by expressing the honor and privilege accorded to me in delivering this keynote address at the Malaysia edition of Unlocking Capital for Sustainability, or UCFS 2025, with the theme Fostering Inclusive and Sustainable Growth for ASEAN. This esteemed forum organized by Eco Business in partnership with the United Nations Environment Programme Finance Initiative and Capital Markets Malaysia is timely and has been apt as we begin the crucial journey of transforming our energy system into one that is more reliable, resilient, and sustainable. Today's dialogue, which brings together visionary leaders from the industry, finance, academia, government, and civil society, culminates into an even greater significance as Malaysia assumes its ASEAN chairmanship role, guided by the theme Inclusivity and Sustainability. This vision is not only aligned with our national development agenda, but one that resonates ASEAN's collective aspirations for an equitable, resilient, and green future. Malaysia is committed in advancing a development model that balances economic growth, encompassing environmental stewardship, where no community is left behind. In this context, I'm confident the UCFS Summit can provide the vital platform for all of us to translate regional ambitions into concrete actions, especially in the areas of financing the energy transition, which lies at the heart of our ASEAN leadership agenda. Therefore, in pursuing sustainability, which requires us to reduce emissions and scale up renewable energy initiatives, we must also strike a balance of affordability and reliability, especially for households and industries alike. In ASEAN, where energy demand is projected to rise by 60% by 2040, how we balance these goals, which will shape our economic trajectory, has become crucial. Needless to say, global headwinds ranging from geopolitical tensions and volatile economic trade dynamics has put us at risk of vital capital being diverted away from emerging economies like ours, and at a time when investments are urgently needed for these vital climate actions towards net zero by 2050. As such, it is incumbent upon all ASEAN member states to work closely together to firstly advance regional energy integration, to mobilize capital for clean energy investment, and to align policies to enable a just, inclusive, and resilient energy transition. Make no mistake that the energy trilemma is not a zero-sum game. It is a call to pursue integrated and innovative solutions that serves the common goals of a prosperous, progressive, and protected ASEAN family. For Malaysia and ASEAN, this transition is not just an environmental necessity, but a strategic opportunity to deepen regional cooperation, to drive innovation, to create quality jobs, and to build more inclusive, future-ready economies. So, ladies and gentlemen, our path toward a sustainable energy future is far from linear. It is shaped by interdependent challenges which ranges from legacy, infrastructure, and policy inertia to the volatility of global energy markets and capital flows. Undoubtedly, navigating this complexity demands a careful balance between decarbonization, energy security, and affordability. In responding to these uncertainties and vulnerabilities, Malaysia has proactively introduced the National Energy Transition Roadmap, or NETA, a forward-looking framework that articulates our ambition in reaching 70% renewable energy in installed capacity by 2050. Crucially, the NETA aims to send a clear market signal to mobilize private capital, to reduce investor uncertainty, and to foster a more investable environment for clean energy. Likewise, delivering on the NETA requires more than just policy direction, but also demands fundamental transformation of the energy ecosystems. Hence, we must now urgently invest in, firstly, smart grids that enable decentralized and responsive energy systems. Secondly, advanced energy storage solutions, including utility-scale batteries. And thirdly, robust transmission infrastructure to enhance reliability and enable cross-border energy trade. We recognize that the energy transition will reshape employment landscapes, especially in carbon-intensive sectors like oil and gas, aviation, and heavy industries. However, a just transition must therefore be embedded in our national strategies, supported by comprehensive reskilling, upskilling, and social protection mechanisms in empowering our workforce and catalyze new green industries. Ladies and gentlemen, as the ASEAN Chair, Malaysia is well positioned to align national ambitions with regional goals in providing leadership to build a sustainable, integrated energy future. At the heart of this is the advancement of the ASEAN Power Grid, or APG, a flagship initiative promoting collective energy resilience. We are on track to table progressive outcomes in October 2025, marking a critical milestone in regional power system integration. In these regards, Malaysia envisions IPG as a vital platform, enabling member states to transcend national limitations through, firstly, harmonized regulatory framework to reduce investment barriers. Secondly, modernize transmission systems to support multi-directional power flows. And three, robust public-private partnership to unlock capital for strategic regional projects. I'm confident that IPG holds the potential to create a shared renewable energy ecosystem in expanding energy trade, reducing fossil fuel dependence, and boosting regional energy security. It is also a compelling investment platform for institutional and private investors seeking long-term climate-aligned imperatives. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to ESCAP, Asia Pacific faces a US $1.5 trillion annual financing gap to achieve net zero goals. Hence, in order to bridge these gaps, we must realign capital flows and strengthen mechanisms such as blended finance, green bonds, and risk-sharing facilities in meeting climate goals. On our part, Malaysia is dynamically converging its resources to bridge these gaps through, firstly, Bank Negara Malaysia and the Securities Commission jointly leading the ASEAN Taxonomy for Sustainable Finance. Secondly, the co-chair of the ASEAN Capital Markets Forum in driving cross-border alignment through ASEAN Green, Social, and Sustainability Bond Standards. And thirdly, collaboration with multilateral institutions to de-risk investment and accelerate private capital mobilization. On the other hand, the Ministry of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, or PETRA, which oversees electricity supply, is leading efforts in making green electricity more accessible as the driver of high-value investments. The key initiative adopted includes the Green Electricity Tariff, or in short, GAT, enabling consumers to directly purchase certified renewable energy. 2, the Corporate Renewable Energy Supply Scheme, or better known as CRES, which allows businesses to procure green electricity from third-party generators. And thirdly, the Community Renewable Energy Aggregation Mechanism, or CREAM, facilitating rooftop aggregation for community-based green energy consumption. In summary, sustainable finance and accessible green energy are not only central to Malaysia's net zero strategy, but are strategic enablers of investment and innovation. By strengthening our financial ecosystem and regulatory frameworks, we are unlocking private capital and improving green electricity access in creating the conditions for market-driven climate action and inclusive economic transformation. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, this decision we make today will define our legacy for generations to come. As Malaysia steers ASEAN sustainability agenda, we do so with clarity of purpose in forging a future where energy security, economic prosperity, and environmental sustainability are not competing goals, but mutually reinforcing priorities. So let us be guided by this principle of balance and inclusion in harmonizing growth with environmental integrity. Cross-sector collaboration as shared challenges require shared solutions. Agility and dialogues in an ever-evolving dynamic world which demands flexible and responsive leadership. The stakes could not be higher as climate change, energy access, and social equity are intertwined, issues that no country can solve alone. So I believe with ASEAN collective spirits and Malaysia's leadership, we can demonstrate that sustainability and growth can go hand in hand. So let us move forward with resolve, purpose, courage, and united in building an ASEAN that is not just resilient, but transformative, a beacon of sustainable global leadership in the defining era. Thank you.